Welcome back. Now, Africa cannot claim to be totally free as long as Western Sahara is still occupied by Morocco. That was the feeling of delegates at SADC Solidarity Conference. The regional bloc took a decision to host the gathering to highlight the plight of the North African country. Here's Kaelihle Khumalo with those details.
Western Sahara has been occupied by Morocco since 1975. A number of steps have been taken to tell Rabat to leave the territory, but to no avail. And this SADC Solidarity Conference is being hosted to remind the kingdom to stop colonizing its neighbor.
There is no post-colonial Africa unless we have a post-colonial Sahrawi. We are now free as Africa, and we would like to be free together with Sahrawi.
But Morocco has decided to organize its own separate conference, where it wants the United Nations to take the lead in resolving this decades-old issue. However, SADC says its own gathering is a historic one, with big ambitions.
We should not talk of illegal occupation in this century, having defeated all the colonial powers. We welcome the engagements going on between Polisario Front and Morocco.
Meanwhile, Western Sahara representatives are also unrelenting.
Can we accept today, the 21st century, that an African country occupies a territory from another African country? This is a very grave situation.
Western Sahara is about 7,000 kilometers away from Pretoria, but delegates here are adamant that they will come up with solutions that will ensure that Africa's last remaining colonized country is freed. Kaelihle Khumalo, Pretoria.
Feel like a cuppa? Well, take a listen. An Ivorian painter is using two of his country's most top commodities to create works of art. And who better to pay homage to with his masterpieces than Africa's greatest leaders?
Putting finishing touches to his latest masterpiece, a portrait of celebrated former Burkina Faso President Thomas Sankara. Ulrich Abe fuses his paints with two unusual ingredients, coffee and cocoa powder. Both are Ivory Coast's two top commodities. Following his teacher's instructions to experiment a bit more, the son of a coffee farmer and coffee lover himself, it didn't take much to be convinced to incorporate coffee and cocoa in his work.
My mother and father are farmers, and I grew up in an environment where my mother drank a lot of coffee. My father also drank a lot of coffee, but he was a bit more refined with it because he would mix the coffee with cocoa. My mother would make coffee, everyone had to drink it. So we grew up in an environment where we drank a lot of coffee. It brought all of us together, and those are the memories that inspire me.
It's also one of the biggest producers of Robusta coffee, and for Abe, it was only fitting to pay homage to Africa's greatest leaders with the country's top commodities.
Through my work, I pay tribute to farmers and to all the unseen people who work hard to give us two of the country's most valuable commodities at the core of our economy, which is the message that I convey in my work. At the same time, I'm paying tribute to all the great people who marked the history of Africa and the rest of the world.
Abe explores different themes through his art, such as cultural identity and migration.
He puts emphasis on personalities or people that we have forgotten, people we read about a long time ago. He brings them back to life through his work by using coffee. And when you look closely, the textures and colors are different. It's original.
He plans to hold his first exhibition in September this year.
What an amazing artist, right? Let's take a look at what's been happening on social media this week. A Kenyan teacher, very well deserving, from the country's remote Nakuru region, has won this year's award for the world's best teacher. Peter Tabichi, a maths and science teacher, has been awarded for his work in his underprivileged schools. Tabichi, who is a member of the Catholic Franciscan Brothers Order, has been giving away 80% of his salary to support some of his pupils. He came out tops from 10 finalists from all corners of the globe. This year's Global Teachers Prize is worth 14 million rand. Congratulations to him. CNN has come under fire after a tweet following the Ethiopian airline aircraft crash. So the tweet says the airline was a world-class brand before the crash put its reputation in jeopardy, a sentiment some social media users weren't impressed with. Clearly, they have no idea who Ethiopian Airlines is. And the president of Tanzania has rewarded the country's national team with pieces of, get this, the land. That's for making it to the Africa Cup of Nations for the first time in 39 years. Tanzania beat Uganda 3-0 to reach the finals last Sunday. The country's president, John Magufuli, hosted the team at his official residence, where he made the announcement. Each team member will get a piece of land in the country's administrative capital, Dodoma. What we would give Bafana. Anyway, that's it for this week's edition of #Africa. Do stay tuned to EMCA for all the latest news. Take care and goodbye.